Do you want to hear how we really love our music? So every time we're doing something to happen, turn over a pick, whatever.
Yeah.
Give it to me. So literally, yeah, literally as he was speaking, I was like, oh boy, yes. And then I was my mom and dad, my brother, God. And then I screamed so loud, I scared it off. Yeah.
So, because he wants to talk about finding a way. Perfect. So we'll just tell him.
Yeah, I'm actually glad it happened because we were doing like so like we're making and then each is just like mom and dad and I actually get to like sit watch and start
We'll figure it out.
when like they started showing I was
Laura, Steele. All right, you guys, it is that time has arrived. It's my least favorite time of the week when I have to pull the hubbub and down to a low roar, and we're going to get the team meeting started and provide just exceptional value. This will be the best hour you have spent all week, and it will continue to be. So super excited about that. We're going to get started. I have 2 guest gongers this morning. Laura, you don't know what you're doing. Okay. Anybody come to the social media presentation last week? I got a big yep. Thank you. This was courtesy of Prime Lending. So Mark and Laura arranged that for us. And if you guys plug in to the systems they provided, social media becomes a snap. So super excited about that. And as we start all of our meetings with the gong, I also learned that it is their anniversary today. We're going to have y'all. What year? 14. 14. Well, so you guys, this should be a snap. Are we doing this together? Okay. Start. Oh, look, and see people came in. That's how it works. Thank you guys. So Mark and Laura are fabulous examples of great partners for us. Of course, Prime Lending. We've got our title company here. Lynn, would you raise your hand for us? Awesome. We've got our junk removal people in the back. Would you raise your hand for us? Yes, I've got to speak with him. So you guys, as you build your business, look around for the people that are going to support you and our individual agents. You have a team. We are your team, and these folks are your team. So there's a great t-shirt. I'm looking to see if anyone's wearing it today. I don't see it. No one succeeds alone. Right? So, oh, right there in the back. Thank you. That wasn't even a thing. I knew somebody would have my back. All right. I looked at yours too. I did see yours first. All right. Here we go. We're gonna dive in. Also, y'all had a little bit of a tiny sneak peek. You, if anyone on their email about half an hour ago get a weird email. Yeah. Okay. Who deleted it? He deleted everything. Okay. Well, thank God he has you. That is a real thing. We're going to hear about that in a few minutes, and we're going to share exactly what that is. If you did delete it, don't worry. We'll get you another one. All right. So let's dive in. One of the things we always start with is our mission, vision, values. And today I just want to highlight an opportunity that is coming up on Monday. Opportunity Knocks, in fact, is what it is called. And here's what I really want to share about that. That is an event, it's a networking event that we're promoting both internally with our KW people and externally with people who are considering either joining our team or running a team. What we know is KW has the best team systems anywhere out there, and we have very successful teams. And a lot of people who are on teams who've run big businesses and done what they want to do for their families and their businesses. But as we're putting this activity together, we're inviting people to come into our offices, and that can be intimidating for people. So this gentleman walks by my office yesterday and says, "I'm looking forward to this on Monday." I said, "Well, heck, I hope people come." Cross your fingers, right? We always play with those who show up. But this is one of the things he did, is he said, "You know what? I happen to have a pair of tickets that I'm not going to be able to use. Would you like to use them as a raffle?" So on Monday night, we have a pair of Bucks tickets that we're going to be able to raffle off for our Opportunity Knocks event, courtesy of Alex Sinamarca. So nice job, Al. Oh, sorry, Tony of the All In team. It's just a way that we all build businesses together and we all help each other out. So thank you, Alex, for that. And for you guys, if this comes, if you find people are interested, but they're not sure why they should come, first of all, they should come for the amazing networking opportunities that we have. But secondly, they should come because we have the best people. We should meet those people and go to the Bucks. And maybe I'll win. I've never been to a Bucks game. I know. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Okay, so our world keeps getting bigger. Pat, we told you we would formally welcome you this week. So thanks for being here last week and welcome to KW. Thank you. And then Amanda Wozniak is also joining us. So congratulations on choosing KW. Excited about that. And then we have had some people who have made some shifts and changes. This is an example of how our teams keep growing. So you can always start as an independent agent and see if that's a great fit for you. You can also start on a team to get exposure to more opportunities that come across people's desks. We learn from each other. So Darshell joined as an admin. She is now a licensed realtor. So we're super excited for her. Of course, Shelley Lewandowski joined as the ops manager for the Schmidt Group. Zach Barnt joined SRG, and Taylor Kulik. Did I pronounce it right, Taylor? Where is she? Okay, I did. Thank you. Excellent. Is joining the Ingles Realty. So we're super excited about these moves. If you're considering joining a team, you don't know what it's like, ask these folks. They have lived it, and everybody's team experience is a little bit different. So excited about that. And with that, we're going to bring up John Shipke. Guru, Defender John.
Woo! Compliance! Compliance.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I was gonna say. I didn't see that. There we go. Okay, cool.
Yay!
My tech skills keep growing.
I just wanted to continue the theme from last week. Last week we talked a little bit about writing amendments and notices after home inspection. And we have had a couple questions from agents about, hey, then what happens with my notice? So if a notice is delivered after home inspection, cancellation and mutual release will be signed at the seller, either if the seller does not have the right to cure, or if they have the right to cure and choose not to cure the defect. So that's the next step. And then a couple people have been asking how you fill out. If it's the first time you filled out a cancellation agreement, it has a space for both buyers and sellers to sign. And then also says who's getting that earnest money back. And if you're in a situation where somebody, the buyer and seller are not agreeing on that, you can always call compliance and we can give you next steps for that. But also it should always have an address to mail the check back, or if the buyer is going to be picking up the check, that's another option. Sometimes people think, well, if they submitted the earnest money via trust funds, can't just come back electronically that way, and it has to be via a check. So just that heads up. That's a very common question.
Very common question, yes. Actually, and I'm gonna put a plug in here for this one and for Miss Michelle in the back. When we get those cameras and we have to write an earnest money check back, we write it to exactly
Yes.
the address that was sent. So if somebody misspells street, they spell it Sturt, we write it to 207 Main Sturt. Because the one thing that brokerages get and agents get pulled up on the most is violations for earnest money. And it is the biggest litigious piece possible. So I'm gonna ask you guys to have extra set of eyes when somebody fills out that form. Make sure that the address is actually where they want the money sent. It's the biggest opportunity for fraud, all that good stuff, so we got you back.
We've even had it where like, oh, somebody doesn't actually live there, that's their income, the property, like they live out of state, and like it was sent there and now it has to be recut, so.
Never, ever guess on that. And if we will write it to whatever is submitted, because our best defense is that is what the client told us to do. Okay.
And I think if I remember from the past, is it true if the buyer wants to come pick up the check and you just don't put an address?
Correct, so they have to like come pick it up, then it can't be, yeah, that is, yes, yes.
I just did that. I didn't want to hire no one, so it's like.
Yeah, it's another good option, is if they're comfortable picking it up or if they want it mailed.
Also, if the incorrect address is put on and you have to reissue the check, we have to re-execute the camera, right? Like, you have
Yes.
to,
Yeah, you
And
can't
that-
do an amendment, you have to, everything has to be re-signed.
yeah, that's fun.
So you can't, so just, we've had, that
Don't do
question
that.
came up recently, so
Don't do
yeah, so it just hey, can't we just initial next to it, like. You're supposed to redo. So yeah, and then just a reminder, once that camera is fully executed, to start that process of getting earnest money back, send it to Sarah Papp for approval. Her email it's very easy to remember, sarah@sarahpapp.com. And then Sarah's gonna let Michelle know that that's approved, and then that'll be returned. So that's the process. It's like, don't go directly to Michelle, don't go directly to Diana. It's get it fully executed, get it sent to Sarah for approval. If there's something to change, Sarah will let you know, and then it'll get sent back. Any other questions about that?
Can you do a follow-up on what is the process if a camera is not executed?
Yeah, we can talk about that next week if nothing else big comes up. So when do you get lawyers involved?
Yeah.
Yes. So
When do you
Yes.
Great. That sounds like that's gonna pack the room, you
Yeah.
guys. Nobody says good team meeting like horror stories. Awesome. Thank you, Defender Dawn. I appreciate it. Thank you, Michelle, for being so good at our nitpicky details with camera. The other thing, it's not necessarily a compliance issue, but I did want to say, we sent something out about sharing room or using rooms in the evenings, off hours, right? We got something back from people that said, are we changing our policy? We are not changing our policy. This office, the office that we use, is your office. You can use it at any time. We are growing, which we love, which means every once in a while there are conflicts in terms of who's using what space and where, especially off hours, if we're not here to help navigate that. So what we would ask, if you ever are using our space, again, we love that, we welcome it. Let's just bring people in. Let us know ahead of time if you can, so we can make sure it's appropriately cleaned and everybody has the right space and they know where to go. And heads up, we do have a cleaning service here on Wednesday nights. So if your event has to be on a Wednesday night, give us some heads up so that we can see if we can reschedule them. You guys come first. But if your event could be on Thursday night, you have the benefit of a brand spanking new clean office space to use. Okay? Not compliance, but process. That's right. Okay, process. That's how my brain works. All right. So now we're gonna have Kathleen talk about that mysterious email that you all got.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
Spoiler
Hold on just 1 second, guys. I think Zoom land wants to see our screens as well. I apologize. Alrighty. Okay, so everybody should have received an email that said reset your password. Did you guys see that? Like a half hour ago? If you haven't been your email lately, it came. What that is we updated our KW Realty MKE resource website to a different platform that's going to allow us to grow with you and share even more resources with you, okay? One of the pieces of this website is that there is a separate agent hub that you have to log into. That allows us to then put like our excluded listings inside a password protected space. Make sense? So that's what that whole password reset email was about, is creating your account on our new resource website so you have access to all the agent resources. Okay. So inside this agent hub that's exclusive for our Keller Williams agents, we have that listing network, both the submission form that's been emailed out to you several times a week, and then the actual PDF of the listing report, which will be uploaded on here Tuesday evening, edited how we've been editing it all this time. Okay, so you can always access it anytime during the week off the resource website now. You'll see your, we couldn't post it on the previous website because the previous website is completely external, right? And we can't do that. So you'll be able to see your broker's open tour sheet, all the miscellaneous forms that you're used to, like our W-9s and referral agreements if you need those. All of our team meeting slides for both offices will be in here as well. Helpline, office rosters, all the things that you're used to on the previous resource website is now in this new platform. Okay. So this is the email that you got. It comes from KW Milwaukee, and it says create your new password or reset your password, one of those two. And if you can just go into this website, create your passwords that you can then log into the agent hub. If you deleted it, you can go into your trash in your email and find it and click the link, okay?
What if you didn't get it? Yeah, I didn't get it at all.
I didn't get it.
Okay, check spam too. If you still didn't, shoot me an email and I will work with Lindsay on getting everybody in there. But she basically uploaded the whole roster. So it might take a minute or two, but it might be batched, yeah, so it doesn't get too spammed. So we are going to talk more in depth about this resource website on Thursday in our command training at 11 a.m., which we will also then post to our YouTube channel if you're not able to make it live. It's the same address though, kwrealtymke.com. It's the same website, same URL you've been using this whole time, just gonna look and feel a little bit different. And what's really nice is that on the external facing side of it, there's a lot of good resources about if somebody wants to join Keller Williams that you know, how to really go about that at a high level. So, and one more plug, new command agent sites. I am doing a workshop tomorrow, 1 p.m. Kia. Okay, so if you want to change over your agent site, come join me. Cool?
Awesome, thank you. You guys, you saw it, the sneak peek, you were next, which is awesome. I just wanted to do one quick, that the agent, that site that we're talking about, your resources. You guys, we are a part of 600 agents strong. So what you see here is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of all of the agents out there who know our systems, who can support you as we think about your business growing and expanding. If there's something that you think about doing, we've got people who can help you. That's available on that website. Your marketing resources, that's available on your website. KeyPlease is a tool that we use for leverage that you can mark your favorite people. And I know a lot of people go on our internal site to say, hey, can someone do a showing? You can also do that through KeyPlease and get people who are raising their hand for assistance and exposure. If these things that I'm talking about, if you don't know what they are, stop me, stop Kathleen. We're going to get you connected with all of those resources, but take some time to dive into that website and see what it has. As realtors, you guys are professional problem solvers, right? So that's a great resource for you to figure out what they have there and how to move your business ahead. And then log in to the site and see what's available. Because as you're talking to people and you're an attractor, right? People are watching you do business and like what you do. If they say, hey, I want to do what you do, that's also a site where you can say, great, here's some ways that you can think about, here's how we showcase who we are. So there's a lot of tools that are on there that can help you build your business in lots of different ways. And as many people are sitting in here today are as many different ways to build your business. So go look and see how valuable that will be. Okay. And as we talk about building our business, super excited to bring Chris Westwoods back. This is her third appearance here. And one of the reasons we keep bringing her back is because she keeps having tremendous success doing the DTD2. So it's that we're entering the fourth quarter. Can be a scary time if you haven't had a plan and if there's perhaps a gap between where you are now and where you want to go. This lady right here can help you bridge that gap. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Awesome.
And away you go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So for those of you that there's some new faces in here, you don't know who I am, Chris Westwoods. I'm the CEO of the CGR Realty Group, an investor. And next February, I celebrate 30 years in this business. I started when I was 12. And in growing the business, we know systems, we know models, we know that it is the relationships that we have that help grow our business, right? And where do those relationships, where are they stored? Where do you keep track of them? Thank you. In your database. Is your database your number one source of business? Yes or no? Okay. So 2 MAPS coaches created a system called the DTD2 system. Who in here does not know what DTD2 stands for?
Well, let's pretend I don't.
Okay. No, Pat doesn't. We've got a couple of things. All right. Who does know that wants to share? It's called Doing the Database Too. Okay. These MAPS coaches, based on Gary Keller's top 100. Gary Keller's top 100 is who the research was done with to write the MREA and to write the MRA2, which may or may not show up in our lifetime. But here's the deal, guys. The top 100 in this company in North America, 80% of their business comes from their database. And all of them have said that the number one touch is a quarterly phone call, right? So how do you keep track of that quarterly phone call? They created a system. But I think that what is most important that I want to go through first, and I'm going to do math. I can do math. And if you guys want to do this with me, I encourage you right now to get pen paper and just go through this. Your database, do you know how much it's worth? Has anybody ever run through numbers to see how much it's worth?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to get these slides. Of course, Tony has. So here's how you do this, okay? So when you're looking at your database, the people in your database that you are touching, your real contacts, you need an email, you need a phone number, and would they recognize you if you saw them in Target? I go to Target on Saturdays to do lead gen because all my clients are there and I'm there for like hours. My husband will text me, "Are you okay?" No, seriously, no. Yours is Home Depot, mine is Target. Everybody's in Target on a Saturday. So when you know how many people you have in your database, the conversion rate is 12-2. Yeah, I know that's 6-1, but there's a reason that it's called 12-2. For every 12 people in your database that you have all this information for that you touch, you should get 1 piece of business from someone in your database and 1 referral. Okay. So if you take the number and on the example, I have 250 contacts in your database and divide it by 6, that's 42 transactions. The data from the research shows if you do 36 touches minimum a year, and you have 250 people, real people in your database that you touch, you should get 42 transactions a year. How many in this room would really like to have 42 transactions in 2024? Yay, or more, right? Depending on the size of your database.
If, let's say your average commission, and if you're running the numbers, know what your average commission is at 42 transactions at $7,000 average commission. That's almost $300,000 in GCI, in gross commission income. Who wants $300,000 or more in GCI? Yeah. Now, the caveat to this is that it takes time. Okay, so 36 touch minimum over 3 years is on average by research when you will start getting this return. But if you start doing it consistently, you're still going to get much higher numbers. But here's the really cool thing that I think is very motivating. Okay, so at $294,000 in GCI divided by your 250 contacts, you're looking at $1,176 per contact. That's the value of every name that you have in your database, that you have a phone number for, that you have an email address for, that you stay in touch with at least 36 times a year. DTD2. DTD2 is a system that divides up your database into 13 groups. And we'll touch on that, and I have the calendar. Next week starts the 4th quarter. You should have all your people tagged in the right group and start calling on Monday. Now is the time to build your pipeline for 2024. So if you have 250 people in your database that you're going to call in a quarter, divided by 3 months, that's 84 calls. Divided by 4 weeks, that's 21 calls per week, which comes to 4.2 conversations today or every day. Does that sound overwhelming to talk to 4.2 people? You should really round it up to 5, because 0.2 might be a really hard thing to figure out. And you could do 5 people in 4 days, or you could do 6, 6, 4, 4, whatever works in your schedule. But this is not overwhelming. But you need consistency. You need a system. And you need to bring value. Consistency and value when you're touching your database will get you a lot of repeat and referral business. When we look at the cost at $1,176 divided by 4 calls per year, and you break it all the way down, that's $294 per conversation. So every time you have a conversation with someone, think to yourself, I just made $294. Now, Jay and I had a conversation about this last week, and James Shaw had brought up in training here and in some of the other trainings, we know that it's 18 to 20% of the people in your database will either move or have a referral. So Jay said to me what he's saying to his clients, if no, I'm not moving. Great. I didn't think you were. You just bought your house last year, but you know what? It's okay if you're in the 90%. Someday you're going to be in the 10%, and I just want to make sure that you know I'm here for you and that I will continue to bring you value when you do decide to move. That's not a hard conversation to have, right? Who here is afraid of picking up the phone and calling people in their database? Oh, I'm not sorry. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Okay, you don't have to call yourself out. I'm not going to call anybody out. It's all good. But if you are consistent and you're bringing them value, and just having a relationship brings value, these are the numbers you should be working off of. This would be a great business. This would be a phenomenal business. So 36 touches, super simple. Everybody freaks out about what to do. You have a quarterly phone call. The DTD2 system that you will learn in Bold, and everybody in this room is going to go to Bold, right? Includes a text message. The text message is one message each quarter. It's a launch. It goes to a different group that you are not calling. So you now just doubled your touches. That launch, that message is already in command as a smart plan. Mine is in there. You search my name. It's super simple. Every Monday, I just pick a DTD2 group and you send it. And I got it from somebody else because we like to R&D what everybody does, right? But if you're calling the text message, a monthly mailer from your friends is what I send. It's cheap. It's under $1 a person. One client event, and we have sponsored client events here. You don't even have to create the event, just come here and do it. And you should have at least 7 touches. Birthday Smart Plan's already in command. So is the neighborhood nurture, so is the home anniversary, and then send a card. It's not hard to get 36 or more touches. The way they created this system is they based it off of the average number of people whose last name starts with a certain letter. Some people do it by first name. Do it either way. There's the advantage to doing it by first name instead of last names. You're not calling husband and wife or couples in the same week. So you can do it. Most people do it by last name, first name. I prefer, I know Nikki does as well. But you're looking at 9, 10, 4. So it varies. What I love about it is week 13, they made it Y and Z. Because there's hardly anybody in there. So guess what? You get a whole week to catch up. If you're behind, I think I have 1 Z. And do you have 1, 2, 1 or 2, 1? I mean, when we were doing our calls the last week, it's like catch up time. Because I don't have anybody.
So.
But here's what I want to show you. This is the actual schedule. So I'm going to go to the 4th quarter. Starting next week, Monday, everybody in your database with A and W, be it first name or last name, gets a phone call. And the text, which you can download if you're using command, because it's Smart Plan's already in there, you can send it to everybody with the letter R. That's 2 touches. And I will tell you that the text, now my text messages, I just scrambled and so that everybody's getting one. This is from Never Ending Referrals in bold. This is the schedule they use. But the text message goes out at 1 o'clock on Monday, and I know when it goes out because my command app on my phone blows up. That touch creates so many text conversations. And then you can pick up the phone and call them if they ask about something. This isn't hard. What's hard is consistency. You have to have the system and be consistent. So you've got next week, you're going to start. If you don't have a reason to call, because I know a lot of people in here, whether you didn't raise your hands, don't like calling because you don't have a reason. This is the quarter where you have more reasons than you can possibly come up with to call people. You have pictures, you have pies, okay, you have Thanksgiving. You have all the holidays going on. It's really easy to pick up the phone and just say, hey, you know what? I was driving around, I was thinking about you. What are you doing to celebrate Halloween? If you want to go see people, it's a really cool time to go do little Popeyes. You can get little pumpkins at Trader Joe's and write out a little card, put them in a bag, go drop them off and see your people. There's so many different ways to touch people, but if you have one client party, or participate in one of them here. Okay, we've got trunk or treat coming up in 2 weeks. You've got the pie event in November. If you just did the pie event in November and you had 7 touches in October and November, and then you called everybody in December and you go do a pop by for your A+ clients who send you multiple referrals, those people you should see in person. You would probably be doing more touches than almost every other agent just in those 3 months than they do in the whole year. Right? So by following the system, you don't miss anybody. If you don't have a reason, call them throughout the holidays. Participate in one of the parties. I do a lot of parties, so for me it's a little bit different because I'm always touching with people and inviting them to come and have cocktails and sit down on a deck. And we just did that last week with our A+ clients. We had a happy hour. But there's so many ways you can touch people that don't cost you a lot of money, if at all. And this is where the bulk of your business should come from. If you are touching it 36 times or more, your database, you should get 80% of your business minimum from your database. Does it make sense?
Mhm.
Who follows the DTD2 system? Yay, there's people in here. Who has their database tagged but isn't quite using it yet? Okay, thank you for being honest. Could you use this? Even if you're not calling and you're texting, those that are call phobia. And I have coaching clients that are freaking out about calling, but they're texting and they're having parties and they're getting results. Okay.
And too, when we're doing our, you know, like on your calls and just a little sentence. And so the next time you call, you can kind of look back, why did you call last time? Let's start a conversation around your notes.
However you keep notes, command is great for that. If you're using command, you can pull up the group and just keep clicking next and it will take you right through. So if you have a group in command, take A and W, you just pull it up, click through, put your notes in, and you know, then the next time you call, oh, hey, the last time we talked, you said you were thinking you might want to move in spring. Is that still your plan? Maybe we should get together and talk about time. Or the last time we talked, you said you were taking the grandkids to Disney. How did it go? Did they have fun? That makes it easy to make the next call. Anybody else questions, comments?
The text message, what does that say?
They're all different. There's one for each quarter. The fourth quarter, I don't have my phone here. The fourth quarter one, I think says, hey, Sue, hope you're doing, I was thinking about you, hope you're doing well. What plans do you have for the rest of the year as we wind down 2023? Is what it says. See you soon, Chris. Answers are coming, I know as soon as the system sent it out, because my phone is blowing up. It's shaking your head going, yep.
So it's usually a.
Phone starts blowing up.
So that they answer the
Oh, yeah,
question.
because you can answer it right from your, because I use Twilio, and you can answer it right from the app. Except that the app makes you change your email or your, makes you, put your password back in all the time. It drives me nuts because I don't remember what all my passwords are. But you can do it, it comes through right on your phone. I'm not alone in that, am I? But it comes through right on your phone, on your command app, and then you can respond right away. Right, we get a lot of two-way conversations because guys, it's about having a real estate conversation. It doesn't have to be voice to voice. Calls are still the best way to build that relationship, but how many of you prefer text messages over phone calls? A lot of people in this room. So if I'm texting you, you're a lot more likely to respond. If I call, and there are plenty of agents that will respond with a text, even if I leave a voicemail. Jane, did you have?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yesterday, Tom Ferry was on there, and I never watched Tom Ferry. But he talked about what he thinks is calls, never hang up without scheduling the next conversation. He engaged at the beauty parlor, or going to the dentist, private practice, never walked out without scheduling the next conversation.
I love that.
Next time you talk to them, say, well, how about if I call you back in 90 days? I'm gonna put this on my calendar. You wanna put it on your calendar too and follow up with it. The other thing
Yeah.
with the texting was, again, go to the Zillow, get this estimate. Shoot it out as a text to your people. Say, what do you think about this? I'll call you later today and we can discuss it. Something we can use your own words, whatever. But just use this estimate. And take this to
You just killed me. No Zillow from the scrum. No, not happening. RPR.
It was a conversation.
I know. I'm just joking.
I thought.
I do look at Zillow so that I can show people how ridiculous they are when I go to list their house.
And the small print is on.
But to your point, and that's a great point. How many of us walk out from the dentist office? You already have your next appointment scheduled. And we know that we're gonna call them anyway, so to say, hey, you know what, it's really great talking to you, I'd like to continue or this conversation, if they were talking about something real estate, or I'll call you in about 90 days and we'll catch up. You're gonna do it anyway, but now you just told them that you're gonna do it. And then when you do call, they go, oh, they actually remembered to call me. I love that. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. Any other questions? Anything else that anybody needs help with? Next up will be scripts. And we'll, oh, sorry, you can't use that word.
Conversations.
Conversations
Yes. I like
on what to say when you call people.
My only observation on this, so you'll notice July 3rd is A&W, right? October 2nd is A&W. The first week of January is always A&W. I would like somebody to go through our KW numbers and see the percentage of closings that involve somebody last named A or W. Because my guess is that that outsizes the rest of the last names here. Because what do? We get super excited. I've done this, you guys. What do? I get excited. I use this method too. And I call my A&Ws. And come about October 23rd, I don't know if I consistently call H&B because I'm tired of being consistent. I'm going to be entrepreneurial now, and I'm going to call the people who are talking to me, right? So there's so much opportunity even within our own systems, right?
Speaking of that, our team is, some of us are going to be improving the schedule this time because we always fall off at the end. So we're going to start with INC.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like A&W gets called every
quarter. Every quarter, I am really good friends with my A&W agents. And I love root beer, right? I mean, like it's all, so what I think about all the time. So October 2nd, A&W, October 9th, breaking and entering, October 16th, DNO. All good. And they do go through this in bold if you need reminders. It's money, you guys. It's a system, and that way you don't have to think of anything, right? I think the more that we can systematize, the more we can automate, the less we think, and that we actually have to consciously slow down and figure out what the systems are, the more bandwidth we have to be present to the conversation, right? Now you're thinking about the stuff that's going to move the needle, not the stupid stuff that you can systematize, okay? So this is also our next plug. Bold is coming back. We've gotten a lot of people who have registered. Congratulations. You are investing in your career and in your business. I'm really excited about that for you. What we understand from Bo is that he has Bo, our coach. They have taken the information and really made it relevant to the market that we are in. We have condensed the schedule. No more bad lunches, you guys. You're not gonna have to sit through a terrible wilty salad. But bring a protein bar because we will probably go until about 1. But you'll be done in the afternoon, then you'll be free to follow up on the work that you're generating in that session, you guys. And I talk to people who say, you know what, it's so mindset. I don't need to work on my mindset. I've got a good mindset. Mindset is 90% of this business. And we can be positive. I love positive. The challenge becomes, how can you think as big as you possibly can all the time? Because that's what's going to get you to where you want to go. So for example, I had a conversation with a group of pretty special people to me about what's your number for next year? How much money do you want to make next year? What does everybody say? $100,000, right? So then the question becomes, what do you guys think I'm going to say? If you were in the room, don't say it. What happens if you double that number for the year, right?
Well, you make 200,000.
You do make 200,000. Next week. You do make 200,000. And what that tends to be for people is you just have to hustle a little bit more. Maybe you take this DTQ system and you become really consistent with it. And there's a lot of sale that's hustle culture. But what we know about hustle culture is that it's exhausting, right? So let's think about, instead of doubling that number for the course of the year, what if you wanted to make that every month? What does that mean? $100,000 every month. You can't hustle your way to $100,000 every month. You need to change how you're working. You need to change your systems, right? So it's a thought exercise and it's a mindset exercise. And the first thing you have to think about is it possible? And that's all mindset. So if you think it is impossible to make $100,000 every month, come to Bold, because you're going to think about what it takes to make $100,000 every month. If you think it's impossible to make $1 million every month, come to Bold. That's why I'm going to Bold, because I'm not sure how to do that. But somebody out there's doing it. So if somebody's doing it, it's possible. Who do I need to become? Who do you need to become to create that kind of business? And again, it's not, money is good for the money it can do. Money rarely motivates people over $70,000. The magic number where your needs are primarily met, you have the opportunity to live the lifestyle that most people are fairly comfortable with. Money is not the motivator. What you can do with that money becomes the motivator. So think about $12 million. What can you do with $12 million? That's mindset. That's why you come to Bold. So invest in yourself. Talk to me if you need help getting there. I don't want anybody not to be there who can benefit from that. Here's how you register. And here are the dates, October 11th. And you can see the schedule after that. Okay. Bold, be there at the Zoo Conference Center, $7.99. Don't let that stop you. Talk to me. Invest. For those of you who love this and want to invest in people, you can give scholarships. Thank you to those who have given. We've had quite a few who have given. I appreciate that. And again, if you need, we've got local scholarship funds. There's also a scholarship fund that's available through National Bold. Okay, the other piece that we're talking about a lot, this meeting is all about generating business and making sure that you understand where your leads are coming from. We have had a conversation a handful of times about 72 Sold. Catherine and Lisa participate in this program on a regular basis. There have been some changes. So for those of you who are interested in learning how the 72 Sold program is working right now in this market, we're going to have a little bit of an info session after this meeting. So join in. Thank you guys for running that. Thank you, Lisa, for running that. I appreciate that. Other ways that you can build your business. We've got Brokers Opens. This group doesn't participate in Brokers Opens too often. We don't hold them too often. So I just wanted to highlight, this is one of our very own. Sarah Papp is running this one here on the 27th, 4 to 5:30. If you are holding a Brokers Open, let us know. We'll market it in this group, and then we'll also put it on the Facebook or inform the other market centers too, so that they can get their people there for that as well. Okay. Productivity program. We're into everything listings at 9 o'clock on Thursday mornings. And then we also have our Monday night class. I understand there was a field trip yesterday. Right, it was great.
They went to a home inspection.
It went to a home inspection. So good. Love it. Was it great?
Yeah.
So great. So great. Now you know everything about home inspections. You're teaching after Cat. Awesome. Okay, this right here looks like the September calendar, but it's actually the October calendar. We've got a lot coming down the pipe. Bold certainly takes up a great majority of our day on Wednesday. I want to highlight a couple things as you're thinking. On the 18th, our very own Katie Ninkovic is going to be our Coffee with a Capper conversation. We try to highlight people who have really remarkable businesses who do things in ways that you might not think about all the time. So Katie has a great success in a unique lead gen. So she's going to be sharing with us on the 18th what that is. That's right up here in this office. On the 12th, Scott Kloss is going to be diving into the Budget Mastermind. Attendance in that has gotten a little bit light, you guys. And one of the reasons we think that is happening is because not everybody understands what that is. You guys, if you understand where your money goes, you understand how to make a profit. And you understand how to invest in such a way that you get your message out more, right? So money's a tool. One of the things they say is that your P&L, your profit and loss statement, is one of the most moral documents that you will ever create. Because when you use that, you're telling your money where to go. So budget is one of our systems that helps you build a big business. And gosh, Scott's one of the very best in terms of detail on that. And it can help you run your life.
I just had a question of the budget on this, right?
Yeah.
Is this just temporarily moved to Thursdays because of Bold? Or
Yes.
will it be?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Sorry, we had to move it, but yeah, good question. So dial into that. And again, opportunity knocks. If you or anyone you know out there in the real estate averse universe, real estate universe, whatever, is interested in networking with teams, understanding running big team systems, wanting to raise their hand to be on a team, not knowing what it is to be on a team, being a rainmaker, on and on and on, or wants Bucks tickets. Come on Monday night, 4 to 6 to talk about Opportunity Max. Okay, no commitment. This is an easy one. You're not raising your hand to say yes at that moment, but you're raising your hand to say, I'm curious. It's great. Okay. And then trunk or treat. Here are those events that we know can help you engage with your clients, right? So trunk or treat is on Saturday, the 15th. It is a non-packer Saturday. So if you have nothing to do, Sunday is a non-packer Saturday as well as a non-packer Sunday. But we're doing the event on Sunday, you guys. So come Sunday on the 14th, 4 to 7. And then Pi Day, November 18th. So register for these. We're looking forward to it. And then we're gonna party Friday, December 1st at 6 o'clock at St. Kate's for the holiday party. More word to come on the Southwest gathering for the holidays.
Realtor party, the day before that.
Perhaps. I'm not sure. A lot of partying. A lot of partying.
Just carry it right over.
Pace yourself. Pace yourself.
Keep it going.
Do not do what Tony's saying.
What?
Pace yourself. Or do what Tony's saying. and
Yeah, yeah,
pick
yeah.
up the pieces.
There you go.
All right. All right, you guys. Anything else for the good of the cause? You are released to the wilds. Go have an amazing day. Bring the sun because it's not coming out on its own today. Do the things. Build a big business. 72 Souls Info Session is gonna be in that room right over there. Join in on that. Thank you guys for coming. Gonna stop talking in a moment.
Yeah.